mark here tonight of the Sim Racing English Cup Series, sponsored by Harpoon Design. Season 14, round 6 of the top 16. We started out with the Charlotte Motor Speedway here tonight, presented to you all by MaxspeedTV. Myself, Joshua Medlock, Will Roberts up here. Going to be calling the action with me tonight. Will, well, one of the tracks that everybody should know when you start on iRacing, driving a very well-known track. Looks like these guys are, having a pretty good blast out here tonight. We do have the race analytics pulled out here. Will, we got the stage. The track temp is a little warm, and I'm hearing that it's pretty tight out there here tonight as well, buddy. How you feeling, Will?
Feeling pretty good, Josh. Yes, indeed, like you said, it is a track everybody should know and love and learn on iRacing, regardless, Also, if you're a racing enthusiast, Charlotte Motor Speedway, been around since 1960, so pretty good racetrack, good mile and a half, narrowest mile and a half on the circuit, so got to keep that in mind when you're kind of going three wide or even side by side at times through these corners. So treacherous turns here, treacherous turn 4 and turn 2 would be ones if we see any type of action. I do suspect maybe single car spins or things to that nature, just maybe just getting behind on the steering and losing the car that way, and hopefully looks like to be action-packed tonight, Joshua.
Oh, yeah, it should be. We've got a pretty good group out here. Looks like 21 of them out here tonight. We'll go through everybody here in just a second to see who all is in here of the chase drivers and who hasn't made it in just yet. Little to no wind out there here tonight. Like I said, track temp of 99. Their stage here tonight, they can go the distance on fuel for the stage. So looking at a stage break here, white at 40. When they hit the line take at 41, that will be our caution flag for the stage. 4 sets of tires, 134 laps, so nothing compared to what they did earlier in the season when they ran the World 300. It was 200 laps. That was a long, grueling race for these guys. And so only 134 here tonight. Now 75% fuel. I have it roughly at 40 to 50 laps. So, but from what I understand, they can make it on fuel. It could be close, but I think they'll be all right. We do get an early caution wheel. I think, we'll just see everybody stay out to go the distance for the stage. Now, pit road is a spot that I always talk about, and it's not going to be any different here tonight at Charlotte. It could be a make it or break it. Right now, you don't want to, have any mistakes in pit road, or really from this race on going forward, especially if you're up in the top, I would estimate the top 4, possibly top 5. We'll take a look at the point standings here coming up in just a second. So you want to maximize all the stage points you can, and maximize every single point and not make any mistakes. So going to have to watch pit road at 45 miles an hour with a pace speed of 55. Now, taking a look at the point standings coming into tonight, Will, this marks that halfway race. So 5 races left before a champion is decided. Now, Mark Whitley is setting up at the top spot at 32.40 with Kyle Heath in second at 32.31. He's only 9 back behind Mark. That's really the closest battle is between them two for that top spot. However, can't rule out Brandon Sheets at 32.09, 3 points, or in third. 31 points behind Mark Whitley and 22 behind Kyle. Chris Paff in fourth at 31.92, 48 behind the leader and 17 behind Brandon. And Jeff Gilmore is rounding out our top 5 at 31.63, 77 behind the leader and 29 behind Chris. Now, Will, with that being said, just from the top 5 here, I know we still got 5 races left, but a lot of these drivers have got some work cut out for them for sure. If they want to attempt to get up there and battle for this championship.
Yes, exactly. There's only so many points you can gain each race within, uh, each week of competition. And if can't really gain those spots or say be, in that in the final couple of laps of the stage, be there to gain those stage points in the race. Like I said, there's so many points you can gain or even lose, say not being able to show up for a race, and you have to rely on your competitors. Maybe that bad luck could go their way sometimes. So much to gain and lose, Joshua.
Yeah, definitely so. We'll go and finishing up the point standings here to Gary Slapinski up into 6th. 3 spots at 31.48, 92 behind the leader, and 15 behind Jeff, Robbie Gilmore, Robbie Stewart. Well, already butchering names out here tonight. Robbie Stewart down a spot into 7th at 31.41, 99 behind the leader, and 7 behind Gary. Jim Comensberger up 3 into 8th at 31.22, 118 behind the leader, 19 behind Robbie. Philip Bridgman up a spot into 9th at 31.20, 120 behind the leader, and 2 behind Jim. And Keith Hurlbut running out the top 10 up 2 spots into 10th at 31.19. 121 behind the leader and 1 behind Philip. Jason Adams down 4 spots into 11th. 31.09, 131 behind the leader and 10 behind Keith. Zach Deutscher down 4 as well into 12th at 31.07, 133 behind the leader and 2 behind Jason. Kevin Roy is going to stay where he's at in 13th at 31.01, 139 behind the leader and 6 behind Zach. Robbie Darnell is going to stay where he's at in 14th at 30.79 at 161 points behind Mark Whitley and 22 behind Kevin. Clifton Ashley is going to be up a spot into 15th at 30.33, 207 behind the leader and 46 behind Robbie. And Hunter Hayward is going to be down a spot into 16th at 29.97, 243 behind the leader and 36 behind Clifton. And still setting at that 21 drivers out here tonight, folks. So, like I said, 5 races left. That does include tonight. So we will see exactly how it shakes up all up here tonight after the race. Mark Whitley, Gary Slapinski, Brandon Hartwell, Brandon Sheets, and Mark Emery, the top 5 here in practice. And with 30 seconds to go, we're going to step aside and play the national anthem provided by Madison Rising. Hang tight, folks. Qualifying will be underway when we come back.
Can you see by This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching MaxspeedTV.
Well, alrighty, folks, we are back. Qualifying is underway here. Coming down to the final minute 10 here. Will and Mark Whitley, as of right now, is up at the top with Kyle Heath. Right now, set in P2. It looks like, though, a lot of drivers, about half the field, Will, is going to actually just start where iRacing puts them.
Yeah, it looks like also about this, the drivers that have qualified, the separation between them, amongst them for the most part, just half a second here, maybe or excuse me, about a half a tenth here, maybe a full tenth there. So out of the drivers that actually do set down a qualifying lap, not that much separation within the field. So another tight-knit group of qualifiers again, and just those drivers choosing, hey, I don't need to waste any time on that set of tires I'm going to be given for the race, and just gonna be hopefully calm for them for the most part, because we know that there are a group of drivers that do like to just ride around before the first that stage. So
Yeah,
kind of
well,
get that out of the way, then go back to hard racing.
oh, yeah, definitely so. We'll see exactly what these guys have in store here tonight. Everybody is gridding up here this evening. We'll go ahead and get our pole sitter out here tonight. Mark Whitley's pretty much dominated on the pole this season, other than the last two races. But, Mark, you're going to grab another one out here tonight at Charlotte, man. Of course, very well-known track. How you feeling, buddy?
Feel pretty good. Hopefully, I don't hit any more hiding race cars like we did earlier this season. That's the plan, just to try to keep the nose clean and don't hit those race cars that are blending into the wall.
That was actually at this track, if my memory serves me correctly.
Oh yeah, that was here.
That was here. This track brings back a lot of memories. Bad memories for Mark Whitley. Well, Mark, you're starting up front here tonight. A very, very good track. I like Charlotte, and I think a lot of drivers do. Of course, it can be tricky at times as well. Tires could be probably the biggest factor out here tonight, and those hidden cars as well. So, Mark, good luck out there, buddy. Again, congratulations on the pole out here tonight. We'll see what happens, man. 134 laps, but
Thank you.
thank you. All right, Mark Whitley over the top. And we're going to go ahead and get him on the grid here tonight, the MaxspeedTV starting grid. Mark Whitley, very briefly there, just talked to him on the pole with a 31.77. Again, congratulations to Mark on pole. Kyle Heath is going to be starting on the outside of him in second. Chris Paff third, Zach Deutscher fourth, Gary Slapinski in fifth, Robbie Darnell sixth, Mark Emery 7th, Brandon Sheets in 8th, Jeff Gilmore 9th, and Austin Slayers in 10th, Robbie Stewart 11th, Brandon Hartwell 12th, David Cassidy 13th, Larry Blair 14th, Kevin Roy 15th, Keith Hurlbutt 16th, Clifton Ashley 17th, Christopher Campbell in 18th, Paul Buzz Cohen in 19th, Jason Adams in 20th, and Mark Gomez Kosick is going to start in the back in 21st. And it does look like a couple of drivers. So Austin did grid. And it looks like Buzz did not grid out here tonight. So looks like we will only have 20 drivers to start things off. A big shout out to all the fans out there here tonight. It looks like, of course, Robbie Darnell, big head honcho boss man in chat, also on the track, so big shout out to him for what all he does over here at SRU. Brantley Road and the sponsor, Harpoon Design, out there in chat again here tonight. So big shout out to you, Brantley. My brother Jeremy out there in chat, and Brendan Kennedy as well. And of course, we do have 13 of you tuning in and 7 likes already, folks. So we do appreciate it. Of course, Will Roberts, man, as always, glad to have you up here calling these SRU races with me to finish out the season. I know you're having a blast, but let's get things started here tonight, man. This is going to be a wild and crazy ride for these guys. With you know, a lot on the line. Pace car will dive off to the safety of pit road for the first time here tonight. Just going to wait on the green here into the Geico start zone here this evening at Charlotte. And the green is out. And whoa, Mark Whitley already. Wow, what is going on? And the 22 goes around.
That is a lot of spinning of the tires, a lot of tire slip going on in both lanes, accordion effect. And I don't think the drivers midway point, not even midway, just Chris Pratt wasn't prepared. I think maybe Gary might have lifted up the back of Chris as well. Potentially, Chris kind of getting caught up, trying to check up for Mark in front of him, slipping the tires. Like I said, Kyle on the outside lane slipped his tires pretty bad, and then Mark. It was just a pedal fest, as they would say in a drag racing. But
ooh, yeah, we're looking at it here.
moly,
Mark Whitley
massive tire slip.
Yeah, we're looking
down
at
in
it
first gear.
right there,
And
right up into the 13, and then the 22's right there, nowhere to go. Then he
yeah,
gets,
just innocent bystander.
he gets slammed by the 78. 78 gets slammed by the 4. 22 back up onto the track here.
Yeah, he's still trying to catch the car.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to get to. There we go. And then, yeah, just several drivers already. 25, 73, 17 going to get a piece. 19 going to get a piece of the 73. Wow, did not even get really green, and
the green flag was dropped and chaos ensued.
Mayhem already. Wow.
Yep, mayhem.
I did not expect that. I didn't expect that, Will. I did not expect that to happen.
You know, spinning your tires in the restart zone at Charlotte is a pretty, at Old Atlanta, the Old Atlanta before they reconfigured it, repaved it recently, a couple of years back. But Atlanta was another tricky mile and a half where, you know, you're kind of rolling into the restart zone and then, I slipped and got back into the throttle. Like it very gentle. You want to, even then it can be so easy to slip your tires. So just I don't want to say rookie mistake, because even it happens to the best of them, as you see here. So
yeah, I mean, you would think Mark Whitley, not to interrupt you, but you would think Mark Whitley, you know, very good racer. You know, I mean, he hardly ever makes any mistakes. And, you know, something happened there. He could have missed a shift, too. I don't know exactly, I really couldn't hear it. I'm going to have to do some configurations on the sounds on that part. But a combination of missing a shift and tire spin, it could have played a factor into that.
Well, he could have possibly went up to shift for second and just hung first a bit too longer. That could have been the cause of the tire slip, but just mainly just probably getting up the throttle, trying to just put throttle on the car to even get up into second, you know, because we saw both Kyle and Mark, both front row sitting drivers just have that slip up. Like I said, it is such an easy thing to do here at Charlotte in both lanes, really, in that restart zone area. So
Looking at some drivers here that are on the track or on pit road. Now, they do not get a fast repair, so
no fast repairs. So it almost became a race of attrition from the drop of the green flag, pretty much. So hopefully these drivers, like if these drivers get involved in another wreck or another skirmish, that could be the end of their day. You know, just because it may look like light damage what they just were in, you know, going 50 to 70 miles per hour right there. But that's still, you know, a 40 mile per hour car crash is still enough of an impact to break a lot of components, you know.
Well, they say when you get into a wreck, you have to double the impact. It's usually doubled. So if you hit something going at 80 miles an hour, you're technically hitting it at 160. So
exactly.
And it's a sudden stop if that whatever you're hitting doesn't move. You know, like a tree. I've hit a tree in real life. And
Yeah.
the trees don't move.
Yeah. They just don't. I came close to hitting a tree one time. They just don't, pick up the roots and say, "Hold up, let
Yep.
me." He's about to hit me.
Yep.
No, they do not.
They don't do that. All righty. Well, we're gonna try it again here. Now that has really shaken things up here at the start. Now we do have Kyle Heath from second to first, Zach from fourth to second, Robbie from sixth to third, Brandon Sheets eighth to fourth, Austin Slayers from 10th to 5th. We've got Gary right there in 6th, started 5th. Mark went all the way from 1st to 7th here. Robbie Stewart, 11th to 8th. Keith from 16th to 9th. And Christopher Campbell, 18th to 10th. In one lap, basically.
Less than 500 feet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're going to try this restart again here, Will.
You did say we might get an early caution. You did call that one.
Yeah, I did call that one. Yep. All right, here we go. Trying it again here tonight, folks. Coming to lap number 6, the Sim Racing Elite Cup Series Harpoon Design. Round 6 of the top 16, season 14 here at Charlotte. Into the Geico start zone, and the green is out, and boogity, folks. We are racing here tonight, and we finally got past the start-finish line.
Yeah, I see what you did there, Joshua, because that was almost like I talked about it in the pre-race build-up, treacherous turns 2 and 4. That keeping the wheel input, keeping that steering still pointed in that certain direction. Contact
no.
Robbie Stewart, Jeff Gilmore.
Gilmore saved it. Nice, buddy.
That was a tremendous save. He could have overcorrected and came back across the track, but he did not. He caught himself and actually kept the car pointed straight enough. So, oh my goodness.
Yep, back up toward the front we go here, and I'm trying to. Oh, whoops. Oh man, I am having. Sorry about that, folks. I'm having so many problems with my mouse. I really need a new one. So last week's winner, Brandon Sheets, up here into that 5th spot here.
Top 6 got a little breakaway train going.
Yep. And that's the thing about Charlotte. You get some heat, some wear built up on these tires, Will. You can start to 19.
Keith Hurlbut in the wall. Yes, in the wall.
In the wall.
Oh, yeah.
That was a whoa moment.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Those L's didn't want to come.
There they go again.
Robbie and Jeff cannot get away from each other. No,
Jeff,
and they were still trying to correct it, still trying to catch it.
Robbie up into the wall. Jeff was sliding everywhere.
Man, oh man.
Man, I think we're going to have to watch the number 3 and 75 here tonight. They're like magnets.
Oh.
That boy, Jeff, he is all over the 3. And it looks like...
more carnage a little bit further back. Somebody got into the back of Mark, I think.
Let's see.
I think it might have been Austin.
Gomez falling back. Yeah, Austin right there. Zach Deuscher has led a lap, and it's looking like he's going to lead a second lap here. He did get around Kyle.
So lead change happened while a bunch of skirmish happened in the back.
We're not done with the skirmishing either. Brandon Hartwell, Christopher Campbell, and coming up on him, 19.
He's 9th and 10th there. So, a lot of hard racing early on in this race.
Already.
And we haven't even hit the stage break.
No.
So Christopher Campbell really sticking to the outside here, but Hartwell gonna get that position on him. Gonna see what Hurlbut's gonna be able to do after kind of riding the wall for a moment.
Going back, jumping back to Chris Paff and David Cassidy. Battle back here for 12th. Very quick battle between the 22 and the 17. Jeff Gilmore coming back up on him. And now going back up toward the front here again. Gary Slapinski just got around Robbie Darnell for 5th.
You can see just what little time that can kind of cost just trying to move around a fellow competitor. If there's just a line of cars in, just already tucked up in a tow, and you can lose a couple of tenths there just trying to make a pass on somebody. But Gary might have the tow of the 2 cars, so he could still have a sniff there.
Looks like Jeff Gilmore coming around David Cassidy real quick. Not really any fight back here between them 2. David, I think, kind of just let him go by. Once tires do start to wear down on these cars, though, they will get loose. Well, I don't know. A lot of drivers were talking about it being tight. Now, sometimes as the tire wears down, they get loose. Sometimes they tighten up even worse than what they are. So, really, we don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to find out if we get a run all the way up into the stage. Well, then we could ask whoever wins the stage, how did it feel?
Exactly.
Whoa, a little door-to-door action there from Christopher Campbell and Mark Emery. I did say I wasn't going to say his name tonight, but I'm a broadcaster and I can't go without saying somebody's name. So sorry, Emery.
Yeah, just looked like they just had a slight coming together. Christopher just walked it up ever so slightly, and Mark was in that middle lane, I guess you could say, trying to not get too far up on the track, but could have been a bit of a side draft that pulled the 68 up the track to make them have contact. But nevertheless, good battle between the 2. 8th and 9th position.
I'll keep an eye on it. Looks like a battle for the lead once more. He's Zach Deutscher, and right behind him, the 77 of our pole sitter, Mark Whitley, trying to get back up there. And Kyle Heath going to try to make that car a little bit wide. Now he's got the 77 on his tail. 21 of Zach back to 3rd. Here comes Sheets.
Sheets just back here lurking, watching all this unfold. He has a good, I would say, front row seat for this action.
Yeah. You can throw a sheet over the top 4. There's a pun in there somewhere. I can just figure it out. Sorry, Brandon, had to do it there, buddy. Battle for the lead. Heath Whitley. Whitley is going to take the top. Yep. And
I'm surprised Kyle didn't hold him down a bit tighter going through there. Didn't try to defend it a bit more there. But
yeah, it's early. I don't think, with no fast repair, you just don't really want to do it quite that early,
Yep.
Still got a long way to go.
20 laps to go in the first stage. Then after that, you never know how the flags are going to fall.
Mark Whitley, Kyle Heath, Deutscher, Sheets, Slapinski lurking
Sheets
back
looking
here.
Underneath Deutscher.
Yep.
Sheets going to take 3rd place away, it looks like.
He gonna try,
and he will.
And he did it. Yes, he did. All right, toward the back or mid-pack, whichever. Looks like a lot of separation and single file back here. Not a whole lot. Everybody just kind of, I guess, buying their time, Will. I mean, what can you do? 134 laps. you know, you know you're going to have to pit. You know you're going to have to save tires. So, and you don't want to blow the car up. So, you know, I'd say take it early for the first 70 laps and then hammer down after that. What do you think? That's what I would do.
I would go as far as maybe 75 to 80 laps. Take it easy, you know, take it easy. But you know, everybody's different. Some like to lead as much as the race is possible. You know, be that rabbit out front that's just, you know, in control all the time, and have everybody chase after you. Just that, you know, they don't necessarily like to be, you know, behind people in that traffic. So everybody's a bit different. You can't control one racer from the other.
Nope.
But
man, there's a big gap though. If you look at the gap between Gary and
Oh,
Robbie
yeah.
Darnell, it's about 2 seconds. Then about a second and a half back or a little area up, Brandon Hartwell. Then about a second back is Christopher Campbell. Then you got them anywhere between 0.2 to about a second, still about 2 seconds. So, you know, that just kind of shows you too, you know, tire wear, you know, who's kind of staying back a little bit, not really pressing anything. Maybe the drivers back here in the back, like Adams and Roy and Slayers, you know, they're just wanting to maybe get through through the stage on this set of tires, maybe pop a set during the stage break, and then hope for maybe another long green flag run and maybe save a set there at the end. I don't know what they're thinking. I really don't.
yeah, I would suspect everybody's going to take a set of tires at the stage break. Nobody's going to take rights. I would hope not, but yeah, tires probably would be a key here this evening, especially for some. But always got to rely on the tires. I feel, just me personally. And, you know, if I'm coming into the pits, I always want to try to get forward. If I'm coming in for a caution period, or at least something to that extent. If it's just gonna be a type of race where, okay, the strategy's kind of fallen how it has, but I got to come into the pits and get just a splash of gas. Well, all right, that's all you need. But
yeah, it's like a pretty good battle here, presumably brewing between the 68 and the 4. Keep an eye on 8th and 9th position here and see if, well, as I say that, looks like the 4 of Mark Emery trying to get around the 68. I know there's a battle up front here, toward the front here too, and a battle right behind Mark. And it's Chris Paff and Clifton Ashley with Jeff Gilmore in tow. Brandon Sheets and Zach Deuscher was even going at it there for a second.
they're going at it, and look like Kyle, he's had a look-see for Mark Whitley going into turn 3, but still right at the back bumper. So it's starting to be a bit battles everywhere you look. 10 laps to go just about for the stage. And
all right, well, Steve Tucker out in chat. Grant Paul Kennedy out there as well, Larry Kennedy. Yeah, let's get up to 20 likes. And we've got 14 watching and 9 right now, so only one shy from 10.
yeah, share it, you know, put it up on your Facebook or post it on your Twitter, wherever you can, get more people into it. Come, you know, view us, get it more talking and chat as well. I do a terrible job of not being awkward, I know, but
I've got chat pulled up here. I'm keeping an eye on chat. Ooh, Chris Paff, Clifton Ashley. We got a good battle back here for the top 10. Kevin Roy,
yeah, Mark,
David Cassidy going at it too.
I was going to say Mark Emery got around Christopher Campbell and kind of drove it away now. And Chris, I wouldn't necessarily say on the back foot, but Christopher, or Chris Praff is most certainly on the back foot. He qualified third, so
Yep.
he's trying to get back up there to the top 5 at least.
Wow, man, Clifton Ashley, wow.
Good catch. I mean, yeah, that could have been dangerous. Just how they kind of funneled up out of the corner.
Little battle right here
And
between these
Clifton,
two. Or three,
I
I
was
should
gonna
say. He was talking about Clifton.
yeah,
right
he
here.
kind of walked it up the track underneath Campbell, and he's still experiencing a little bit of tightness still. That's what these drivers were telling us, Joshua, going into this race. These cars just handling a bit tight, just a bit stiff. So even kind of by themselves, but multiply that while in traffic in that dirty air, it's going to be even tighter. And that's going to walk it up the track even more towards that wall. You're trying to turn it down off the wall. Don't want to hit the wall. The wall's bad.
No, definitely don't want to hit the wall. 34 laps into the race here tonight. And, you know, a little hiccup there at the beginning. And then, we had a lot of different
smooth sailing.
Yeah. So far, looks like everybody's been, okay for now. But we did have some old pucker moments here.
I only say smooth sailing because, we didn't see at least 3 more cautions after our kind of spinning the tires moment on the initial drop of the green flag. We could have saw some cautions, but they somehow kept it green flag.
And I don't know how they did it. To another pickleback here. Campbell, Gilmore. Austin
now,
right here as well. Ooh, a little bit of touchy there.
Gilmore and Ashley, they have basically the same beer sponsor. So is that still a battle of the beers?
Yeah.
Okay, so even though it's the same beer, it's still the battle of the beer. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, one of them's High Life and one of them is Light. So.
Oh, okay, that's the difference. 10-4.
Yep,
I'm like, hey,
battle of the beers.
I'm like, it's still, it's still the same beer company. It's just different, different beverages of which they produce.
Look who's trying to make his name known out here.
Yeah, Kevin Roy.
I'm loving it. Kevin Roy in the McDonald's machine.
No, now he's in a Ford this week.
Yeah.
Last week, I think he's been in a Toyota so long, he's just kind of branching, just testing out the waters, seeing how everything feels.
Good little battle, though. Campbell, Slayers, Roy is bringing up David Cassidy and Jason Adams, but they are a little. Oh man, Campbell and Slayers, man. I think Campbell might have tagged the wall a little bit. Don't know. Don't want to stay down here too long due to the fact that we're going to be coming upon the stage here pretty quickly. Well, no, he didn't. He didn't hit the wall, so. Like he
just got awful close.
Yep, and coming to lap number 39 there, folks. So the next time by, white flag will be in the air. Next time by for the stage. Got to make it around twice at least. White flag and then all the way around again. We do get a caution now, though. Then that will end it for the stage. Out of turn 4 here, Mark Whitley is going to take the white flag, though. Here we go. White flag in the air.
Pal, he's been all over Mark Whitley, and pal, all the way to the wall up against that high line. So is that going to be beneficial?
Yeah, is he going to try to make one last push down here into 3? We are about to find out. Middle 3 and 4 coming out of turn number 4 for the stage. It is going to be Cal. No. Yeah, Mark Whitley, Kyle
Mark,
Heath in second there. Well, I almost said Kyle Heath there to grab. Wow. Boy, I must be tired. Mark Whitley grabbing the stage win out here tonight.
that's all right there, Joshua. You know.
Well, I do this 5 days a week. I should be
Yep,
used to it by
it's okay.
now.
Well, I mean, used to it, and it's okay to have a slip up every now and again.
Oh yeah.
It is perfectly fine.
All right. Well, Mark Whitley grabbing the stage. I'm sure Kyle would have loved to grab the stage right there, though. I mean, but hey,
I'm sure Kyle's going for the win.
Oh yeah, more points.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with the
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Joshua. My apologies.
even with the P2 stage finish here, that's still good points for Kyle Heath, and of course he's got the lap led as well. So he's got some bonus points coming to him.
Maybe after this pit stop during this caution period, he is probably going to focus on maybe trying to wrangle that lead away from Mark Whitley, get that extra bonus point for possibly leading the most laps led, and just hopefully control this race, win it from Kyle's perspective, and also Whitley's going to obviously try to do the same. We see how good both these cars are.
Yeah.
Obviously, at this moment, 40 laps into this race, class of the field. So at the moment, it's still anyone's race. This is just the first stage. We still have a good portion left to run.
Yep. Yep, 91 laps to go coming up here. So, I mean, we've got a lot of laps left. I mean, if they stay green, though, it'll go by quick. I mean, it's not going to be, I mean, it's not going to be like a Bristol race by any means, but it'll go by definitely, pretty quickly.
Right.
We'll be able to get Mark Whitley back down here real quick and talk to him here this evening. Mark Whitley, buddy, congratulations on the stage win there. But, man, a big hiccup there at the beginning. Walk us through what happened down there here tonight, and how did you manage to get back up to the front?
Yeah, I don't know. We did some pit parties earlier in practice, and I tried restarting in first gear then, and it was fine, hooked up fine, no issues, and I did it in the race, and I felt like John Force there for a second, lighting them up. Thankfully, we kept it straight. Didn't fall back too far, and after that I was just trying to keep the wheels up under it and slowly work my way up, and we eventually got around Kyle. Thought his stuff was falling off, but I think he found something there and was really pressuring us there toward the end of the stage, and made a couple of mistakes there coming down the stretch, but we were able to hold him off. So hopefully we can keep it up and hopefully not spin the tires this time around.
Yeah, restarts, I think, is going to be a big key here. But, you guys are going to have to come down at least for one more stop, and you guys cannot make it to the end. How's the tires holding up? Are they wearing off pretty quick?
It's really just depends on how you drive it, to be honest with you. You drive it in really deep, you're going to kill the right front. If you try to diamond it too much, you're going to kill the right rear. So it's just about managing it and driving it to your best, whatever suits your style better.
All righty. Well, Mark, we still got a ways to go out here tonight, buddy. Good luck. Congratulations on the stage win. And, man, that pressure is still all over you here. So good luck, bud.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. And they are already double file here. Oh. Did the lights come back on?
Yeah, the lights.
Believe they do.
I don't think they were off yet. I don't think they were quite doubled up yet.
Oh, I thought I could have swore I seen the lights off.
Yeah, because that lap, the lap down cars had just pitted.
Oh, okay. So lights should go off this time.
Yes, sir.
Should. Not saying they will, but they should. All right, well, here we go. We'll see what happens. Now, like I said, they cannot make it from here. They will have to come down at least once. Steve, I just seen your message there, buddy. Sorry about that.
And that pit stop will probably happen between, I would suspect, 98 to 105.
Oh yeah, that's
possibility.
definitely
So,
going to put them within that fuel window.
oh,
Then,
oh yeah.
yeah, they'll definitely be able to make it. All right, lined back up, side by side, coming out of turn number 2. Got Whitley, Heath, Deuscher, Slapinski, Sheets, Hartwell, Emery, Darnell, Paff, Ashley, top of 10. But just because you're a lap down or whatever does not mean anything. Larry Blair is the only driver 1 lap down. Robbie Stewart is 13 laps down, but you know, Robbie may not be having the race he needs here tonight. However, at least he'll pick up some points for starting.
Oh, exactly, for sure.
All those points matter coming out of turn number 4 here through the tri-oval. The pace car off and away to the safety of pit road here at Charlotte. And we are back underway here tonight after the stage break. The Sim Racing Leash Cup Series Harpoon Design Season 14, run number 6 of the top 16 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Sending to you on Kyle. Whoa, no yellow, 3 wide behind him. We'll look at that here in just a second.
I don't know if it was contact or Kyle's car just kicking out at turn 2.
We're going to go back and take a quick look-see here and find
Oh,
out.
the car just kicks out.
I think it does. I think you might be correct. It just snaps loose. Yes, it does. It just snapped on him.
Wow, what a catch.
Yeah.
And amazing, nobody, just pile drived him. Like,
wow.
And they're still green. They're still going. Here they are, still live. Like, live shots here.
Yeah, we are back up live here. I didn't want to stay on that replay very long because,
right. Amazing catch. Oh, Robbie Darnell had a moment coming out of turn 4.
Darnell.
He caught it.
Yep. He is all over the tail of Sheets. Oh, 22 of Chris way up top.
That was a reaction of what Robbie was doing in front of him. Oh,
no!
That's a huge crash.
Oh, no! Don't tell me it's who I think it is.
It is who you think it is. I won't tell you.
That's Mark Emery, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, no. Well, it took me on Clifton Ashley, but I do see the 4. Oh, no.
Yeah, he's right behind the 43.
Oh, man.
Clifton is.
So, look
at
that.
Mark gets loose, I think, right here. Just going to get tail happy.
Yep. And then right up into Austin. And then the 10, nowhere to go.
Oh, that's a hard impact. That well, I guess you could call it exposed.
Yeah. That got into the 4 right there and then sent him down. Tries to save it.
Bam.
Bam, right into that side wall. And it looks like the 4, for the most part, is going to come unscathed. Does hit the wall there, but that gummit. Yep. Man.
Well, race of attrition, race of the treacherous turns. Like I said, turn 4, turn 2 earlier in the broadcast, and just how difficult they can be. Also, Charlotte Motor Speedway being the narrowest mile and a half that you can run on. So all that adds up, and kind of at times, especially with this Gen 7 car, just how it is. The independent suspension on all 4 corners. So just traveling through the embankment, and Charlotte can be bumpy here and there. So also just kind of the amount of off throttle time you have to be through 3 and 4, shifting. I can imagine these drivers possibly shifting back up. Some people call it engine braking, whenever you change horsepower to the engine. So that also could have a lot to do with it as well, or
Yeah.
at just a power to weight ratio, I guess you could say. But yeah, just I sometimes also just think about go back to harping about the steering input. The more you're going to keep turning on that wheel, or the more you hold it in that one position to get it to turn through the corner, of course, it will wrap around on you. When you get behind on the steering, as they say. So.
Yeah, it looks like the lights are still on the pace car here, so we're going to be doing a couple more laps, or at least a lap this time of pacing. Let's see here if we can get somebody up here. Maybe Jeff Gilmore here real quickly. Jeff Gilmore, buddy, got a copy?
Yes, sir, guys. What's going on?
Hey, man. Well, we've had some action down there on the track here tonight, buddy. How is that Miller car hanging out here tonight?
Not too bad. The setup is just really tight and can't. It's really hard to pass, of course.
Yeah.
We're all struggling here a little bit with it, but just trying to get into a long run mode here and try to save some tires and see what happens. But we're limited on tires as well, so I think everyone only has 2 sets left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, does it loosen up any at all, or does it get tighter as the run goes on?
It stays about the same. It doesn't really free up at all.
Oh,
but
man.
after the tires wear out, it does seem to, you got to slow down more so it turns a little better. But shifting helps a little bit. I think some guys are shifting. Not 100% sure, but we'll see how it goes here. Get a green run in and hope for the best, boys.
Oh, yeah, definitely so. Well, Jeff, good luck out there, buddy. It looks like you guys will be getting the one to go here. So good luck, Jeff.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, and yep, there it is right there, the one to go, and everybody going to get side by side again, Will. So, yeah, Steve, we'll see what happens here at the end. We're not done, though.
So a small heat cycle has been presented to these tires, and let's see how well they will fire off on this restart. I would say they've been pretty racy tonight, that's for sure. Just so far in this race, 52 laps being completed.
Whitley, Slapinski, teammates up here. Heath, Hartwell, Deutscher, Darnell, Sheets, Gilmore, Paff, Cassidy, Roy Adams, Hurlbutt, Slayers, Gomez, that's our top 15. Mark Emery, Christopher Campbell, and Larry Blair's going to round out the top 18 on the lead lap here. Clinton Ashley is on pit road. Robbie Stewart is out there on the racetrack, and here we go. Fixed to get back underway here tonight into the start zone, and the green is back out, and taking a look back here into the field, I believe somebody before Mark Emery might have spun him a little bit, but he's all right.
Mark Whitley up the track to block a run that potentially his teammate could have had, Gary. So, or maybe give a wee bit of tote to Gary. Either way, flip a coin, see which way it could land on that analysis.
Yep, and look who's coming. Zach still right here in fourth, started fourth. You've got Sheets and Path going at it right behind them. Still a battle for the second spot between Slapinski and Heath. So good looking battle here. Man, we got a couple of good looking battles going all the way through here. 2x2 up top. Well, that was close.
You got to remember, Kyle Heath kind of recovery from that slide that he had from that last restart after the stage break. So
Oh, somebody got up into the wall.
I
Pat.
believe that was, yep. So he is putting another dent in his Gatorade bottle.
Gonna have to get some hammers and beat it out. Man, that side-by-side battle up here, though, for second. And that's been going
Gary
on.
holding strong. Yep, pretty much since the drop of the green flag from the previous caution. So
Yeah.
Gary just holding really strong in that outside lane, man, I tell you.
Robbie Darnell sneak his way up here, too. Right there running in 7th. He started 6th, so he's right there about where he started. But Robbie being a little bit sneaky. Oh, Kyle Heath got around Gary. Wow.
Our move to
seen that.
Yep, jump right up in front of him after he was clear. So maybe he can run back down Mark Whitley here. Brandon Hartwell there just making a pass on path. So Brandon Hartwell, yep, working the outside around David Cassidy in the 17 machine.
Yep. And Keith Hurlbutt, Jason Adams, pretty close together back here, 12th, 13th, and Kevin Roy is right there with them. About a half a second back thereof.
You saw earlier how Kyle didn't quite let Mark, jump away, get away. So I think Kyle's trying to run him back down and keep him within his grasp, but having such a hard time as his Mark Whitley's teammate Gary. Gary just applying so much pressure, just being, I guess, a nuisance, I guess you could say, in Kyle Heath's world.
Well, Gary's got, somebody behind him, too, that's putting some pressure on him, and Zach Deutscher. So, Gary finds himself in a bit of a pickle here as well. He knows that 21 is right there.
Going through turns 3 and 4 the last lap, like I said, he about slapped the apron. So, got to be careful how low you can get.
How low you can
get. Hey, exactly.
44, boy, Darnell way up close to the wall. Doesn't hit it, but, boy, man, it seems like on these camera angles here on iRacing, folks, it looks like from the angles they get really close to the wall. But when you actually look at it, there's probably a good 5 feet between them and the wall.
Sometimes.
It just looks really close. We can actually give a pretty good idea. We can actually stay here on Robbie Darnell and give a little bit of a right front suspension look here, different angles. We don't hardly do this, but it does look pretty close. But there is a gap there, and I'm sure Robbie is very aware of how close that wall is. So, try not to play follow the leader, but yet playing follow the leader in a way of don't really want to lose the back end of the 22.
Yeah, you can only see so many cars in front of you, and so you kind of, sometimes drivers will judge their movements based on the car in front of them, kind of like we saw earlier in the race. So if one person is moving around too much for another's liking, that's why, hey, I want to get around this person. Others, hey, they're more stable, I'll follow this guy for a little bit. So
We are looking at lap 100 and let's see, we got 134. We just hit lap 65. That is going to put us at about 69 to go. They've already been out here 22 laps. So they'll still have to come down.
Yeah, it'll probably be
about that 100 mark roughly, maybe.
Yeah, 95 to 100, yes.
Yeah. Right now, just a whole lot of single file. Boy, Robbie Darnell really running that high line. Has Brandon Sheets up to him. Of course, Jeff Gilmore. Now Austin is up to the back of the 75. David Cassidy kind of by himself now. Jason Adams, Keith Hurlbut, and Kevin Roy, they're kind of pretty much right here together. Half a second to 2/10 between them two. Mark Emery is right behind them, and now a battle for second again. Kyle Heath, Gary Slapinski out of 2. Here we go again.
Looks like Kyle slipped up and gave a window of opportunity. Gary jumped in it, put his nose there, so kind of somewhat taking that position away from Kyle. That moved Kyle up the track lane. They're back to battling like you talked about, like we're seeing, and Kyle kind of compromised. Gary's going to take that position away from Kyle, slipping up in front of him on the corner exit of turn 1. Kyle kind of got off the throttle, I can imagine, just kind of giving that position to Gary at this moment in time as they run.
Yep.
You're like, okay, well, maybe I could use you, per se, if you're actually going to get up, go by me. You know, I could maybe use that draft in front of you to get up to Mark.
Exactly. Oh, Clifton Ashley is taking his car behind the wall. He is done for the night.
Well, almost no surprising, almost not surprised because of how much of a vicious impact we saw him have with the driver's side of that inside retaining wall on the back straightaway. So I can imagine that car had a load ton of repair time. So.
Kevin Roy, Jason Adams. This is 12th and 13th.
Yes, I'd like a little paint with my cheeseburger.
Kevin Roy. Looks like he might be loving it a little bit. He's up a few spots, 15th to 12th. So, for 3 positions right now for Kevin. Jason, he's up several as well from 20th. Of course, he was the last driver that started. Buzz did not start. So, Jason was actually at the tail end. And he is up into 13th.
Brandon Hartwell gets by Zach Deuscher, 4th position. So Brandon Hartwell really on the move, on the charge.
Wow. Robbie Darnell again got way up to the wall. Now watching Austin here to the inside. That'll be for 9th. And Robbie's starting to get a little squirrely. Looks like Emery and Hurlbut going at it real quick. Emery is going to take that spot away, 14th. There goes Austin and Robbie again for 9th. Out of 2. Kevin Roy and David Cassidy going at it right behind them, Will. So we've got a few battles going on now.
Yeah, kind of what Gilmore alluded to as we were talking to him during that last caution period about just
Whoa.
getting to a point in the run where, you know, whether the tires or just the car throughout the run with the tires will just get to the point where it'll kind of equalize itself out, and everybody is just kind of fighting for what they can really grip.
Looks like Nikki is out in chat, having issues with her chat for some reason. Well, I'm not sure. If you're watching it on your phone, you have to click the live chat button in order to, you know, bring up chat. Then you can close it out, and then as you're watching it. Christopher Campbell has called it a night as well, so he is out. Tablet is easier to watch it on, but, you know, a lot of people watch it on their phones. But glad to have you out there. You can use out there somewhere. I don't see Tara, although I'm sure she is out there somewhere. 13 of you tuning in, though. We do have 11 likes here. Do appreciate that. I know these guys as well do too. So right now, though, Mark Whitley getting that gap. Gary, Kyle, and Brandon Hartwell, second, third, and fourth. Still throw a blanket over these three, and the more they race, the further Mark's going to get ahead. But you're going to have to pit. So when do you pit? Well, you want to make sure that when you pit, have enough fuel to make it if it goes green. Of course, whoa, little wiggle there by Brandon Hartwell.
Gary had a moment of his own on the bottom lane as well, so could have been getting back to the throttle or just the aerodynamic disturbance, you know, battling, you know, with Heath and Hartwell there, so
I allowed Kyle to kind of
take back that second place and hopefully, like I said before, get into a rhythm and maybe run down Whitley here a little bit, but treacherous turn 4 never ceases to disappoint.
No, boy, coming up through out of 4 through that tri-oval is not an easy task, especially, you know, it's a little bit easier by yourself, but if you've got a driver, if you're on the inside, you got a driver to your outside, man, you have got to be careful.
Yeah, it's really one of those things of, you know, kind of almost like dancing on a fine line.
Yep.
You got to be extraordinary careful. Give that driver just as much as room as you think you would want. So, all about that driver courtesy out there, you know, showing it to one another if you can. You know, these cars do have fenders. It's not like, you know, it is an open formula or open-wheeled formula of racing to where, you know, oh, don't touch my tire. But
we got a driver I seen, I think, coming down pit road. Yeah, Robbie Stewart is coming down.
Yep.
Yeah. 14 laps down. I mean, it'll see 53 laps. Yeah, he wouldn't be able to make it from here. 134. Hang on. 80. We'll call it 80. 54. That's going to be close.
Well, like you said, he is also 14 laps down at the moment, so just could be bringing it down pit road. Excuse me. He could think this is the right time for him to just go ahead, bring it in early, top it off, and see if he can make it. Why not, I guess?
We are looking at 9:02 Eastern, 8:02 Central. if we stay green, folks. Big possibility that we could. We will be done in 26 and a half minutes.
You really
Man.
like your race prediction tool app things. Those are handy.
No, it does. It has the time.
Oh man, that battle.
Yeah, we're watching it. Heath, Lapinski, and Hartwell.
Yep.
Yeah,
Heath can't get away.
No, he can't. He's got Slapinski slapping him around a little bit.
Oh my.
He's got Hartwell throwing some water out on him.
Sounds pretty devastating and brutal.
All right, Kyle, though. Great guy to talk to. And it looks
Hartwell
like...
did a crossover,
yes,
and
he did. Wow.
And this battle for second between these three drivers, these three cars,
This is
man, just good one.
This is
Not to
excellent
mention
right
what's
here,
going
yeah.
on just behind them.
And you've got
oh.
Path and yeah, let's go ahead and check it. Yeah, let's get up here because this these guys are still pretty tight knit right here. So yeah, we've got Sheets and Path and Deutscher 5th, 6th, and 7th right here together. So I mean, we'll definitely keep an eye on that as well because you know that could heat up pretty quick. 22-2 and the 21. Up here, you've got the 25-13 and the 78. Kind of not worried about Whitley right now. He's 3 seconds ahead of Hartwell. So, unless Mark has some major hiccup here, I mean, they do have to pit. There's always mistakes on pit road. There's always that dreadful yellow again. I mean, you got to look at the bigger picture, but...
Yeah, you could speed getting into the pits. You know, you could have a bad in lap, out lap. You could spin getting up to speed on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
And that could happen to anybody. I'm not trying to curse nobody. I'm just stating some facts that can happen.
Yeah, look what happened to Whitley at the start. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Just slip. You know, spinning the tires. You know, he said, you know, I thought I was in the right gear and it seemed fine in practice. And went with it, and apparently it wasn't.
It
so.
wasn't fine. Nope. Everybody, though, a little bit spread out for the most part. Like I said, we still do have those battles. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And then 5th and 6th and now here together. It looks like Zach kind of backed off a little bit. Either that or just tires right now are just totally shot. They have been out here 47 laps, by the way. So, definitely getting about that time to come down pit road, I think.
Oh yeah, exactly. I was about to say, you know, between even now to 5 to 10 laps from now. So, I would say is when they would all start. That's on the lead lap. Oh, here they come now. Keith Hurlbutt's going to start it.
Yep, he is going to start it from the back or toward the back. So
sometimes that's all it takes is just the car that's on the lead lap, or you know, maybe a car that could be on the same pit cycle as you come in and kind of start, you know, kick things off, and everybody's going to come in and pit after that, possibly.
Well, that's going to put Keith at 43 laps, so he can make it field-wise. And I would assume he took a 4 sets or a full set of tires. Yeah, he did. All right, as they do make their way around, another battle here for 2nd. Heath Slapinski. As Hartwell kind of falls back, wouldn't surprise me if we see a couple of these guys up toward the front mid-pack maybe decide to come down. I don't know. Mark Whitley ain't coming down, so I don't foresee. Whoa, did I just see Hartwell pop the wall?
Kyle Heath just had a big slide coming out of turn 4.
Whoa. Well, I thought I seen Brandon hit the wall there, but out of turn number 2 here. Wow. All right, well, we're going to stay right here, second, third, fourth for now.
Yeah, just in a great, intense racing that these 3 competitors have been displaying here for the past, I don't know, Joshua, 10, 15 laps, if not longer. Oh, and I say that almost, Gary almost just helped Kyle get to the pits a bit quicker, possibly. That could have been a bit more tragic than it looked like. Kyle was ducking down to get to the pits, and Gary was just there riding behind him still. So Mark Whitley darts off the pit with Kyle Heath and Brandon Hartwell. Looks like Zach Deuscher. Then Gary's going to come down this lap. Who's he bringing with him? Looks like Chris Pratt. Oh, he missed it. Chris Pratt missed
Oh, no.
pit lane.
Yes, he did.
Brandon Sheets pitting with Gary.
Yep. It's like Mark Emery coming down as well. I had to step away real quick. But I'm back. Brandon Hartwell, Larry Blair, it looks like they're down. So, all right, here we go. Thank you for picking that up there, Will. Do appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. I'm not sure if there was contact when Kyle Heath went to make his pit stop in lap, because Gary, it could have been like we talked about earlier, the camera angles can be deceiving at times.
Yeah, they can be.
So, don't know if there was contact actually ever made or not, but just one of those, could have been, like I said, deceiving moments, and just wrong place, wrong time as well. Just
Austin, Jason, and Gomez are the only drivers left and has got to come down pit road. So our top 3 have yet to pit. Whitley and Heath right now are the only 2 on the lead lap of the drivers that have pitted. Gary is 1 lap down, but once Austin and everybody else comes down, well, here comes Gary now coming around our leader, Austin. Gary is going to be back on the lead lap, so that's going to put Brandon Sheets, the first driver, a lap down, and Gomez is on pit road. So wouldn't surprise me here pretty quickly if we see Austin and Adams. And Adams still not coming down. What if these guys are banking on a yellow?
banking on a yellow and just going till they can't go any longer is what they're looking at. But yes, more than likely banking on a yellow.
And here comes Austin down now.
Doesn't look like we're going to get that yellow they are so crucially hoping for.
Yep. And Jason getting passed up by the 22 and now the 44 on the outside. So Adams is going to have to make his way down pit road. We are at lap 100. So the next time by 101. Right now, Adams, your leader, but he's going to have to. I think he wanted to get that lap led.
Right?
Yeah, here he comes.
That point, like you said earlier, for leading the lap. So the many ways, like we talked about, the many ways you can gain points or even lose points. So 34 laps remaining, Joshua, in tonight's festivities.
Man.
Mark Whitley coming up on a gaggle of cars here.
Yeah, let's see here. That is, I want to see who is that at the tail end of this. Let me find out who that could be.
I believe that was Koshik in the 33 at the tail end of that gaggle.
And there is
Larry Blair,
yeah,
perhaps, I think.
that is Mark Koshik here as our leader. Mark Whitley is coming up on it. Gomez is going to get out of the way. He's like, nope, I am out of the way. Yep, it's a gaggle. Yep, a gaggle. Oh.
Some of these drivers just on a slightly different numbered lap of fresher tire than the others, so we're starting to see that what was a gaggle kind of dissipate and everybody go on down the road from one another.
Now Austin Slayers here's been out here. Well, this lap will be 3 laps compared to our leader Mark Whitley, who this lap is going to be 9 laps. So there is a difference on them two. Now the freshest tires of the bunch, Jason Adams, he's only been out here 2 laps. However, he is a lap down. He has the overall freshest of everybody out here by 1 lap to Austin. So it's kind of throwing it out there for everybody to, kind of look at, how important are tires? Well, at this track, they're very important. So, well, folks, we do appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight on MaxspeedTV. Steve Tucker, Tara, Brantley, Nikki out there in chat. My brother out there as well, Larry Kennedy, Grandpa Kennedy as we call him. Brandon Kennedy, no relation to Grandpa Kennedy. So glad to see all of y'all out there. And of course, all the 14 of you, including those that are not chatting in chat here, 12 likes. Winding down the final laps here tonight. Brantley, another big shout out, huge shout out to you again, man, for coming back on board again this season, sponsoring the Sim Racing Unleashed Cup Series on Sunday nights here on MaxspeedTV. And, of course, Robbie Darnell, too, for putting up with all of us each and every week. He doesn't get the credit he deserves, but that dude, he hard worker, puts up with me, puts up with Will, and then out on the track, he puts up with everybody else.
Yep, tremendous work. Round of applause for Robbie. What it takes to help, whether it's co-run or run, operate a league, help. Man, yeah. I know from experience it can be a hassle. It seems at times, but at the end of the day, it can be rewarding. It can be fun because getting on, you're having fun with a bunch of fellas. You appreciate. So, it can be very rewarding whenever it feels like it can be a hassle. So.
Mark Whitley leading the way. He's got a commanding lead over Kyle Heath of a little over 4 seconds. So we're coming up right at 4. Well, kind of fluctuating here. Now coming up on close to 4.5. Everybody kind of spread out, sort of. And Kevin Roy is coming up on Jeff Gilmore here for 6th. Robbie Darnell right there with Chris Paff. Mark Emery right there with Austin. Hartwell and Cassidy pretty close together, about 3/10. So, and can't count him out, even though he is a lap down at the present time. Keith Hurlbutt trying to maybe get around Mark Gomez. Koshik here, that would be for position. That would be for that 15th spot. Larry Blair right now is the first driver a lap down with Mark, Keith, and Jason. So if yellow does come out and the Mountain Dew 73 is not involved in that, then he would be the lucky dog, get the wave around. He would be back on the lead lap. Now, if Larry unfortunately does get involved in a wreck, it would go to the next driver. In that case, it would be Gomez, and then so forth and so on. That's how that works. Now, if everybody that's a lap down is involved in the wreck, I don't think anybody gets a waiver round. So,
Nope. No one at that point would get. You're correct. So now in real world, how that works in the real world counterpart, if the person who is eligible for the waiver round are the plucky dog to get their one lap back, if they are the cause of the caution, are involved in said caution in any way, then no one gets their lap back unless they wait for the waiver round rule option, which means all the cars on the lead lap that are in front of them would have to pit.
oh, wow. Grandpa Kennedy out there telling Sheets to, it's time to go. He's got some work cut out for him right now. 13, almost 14 seconds behind the leader. Well, 14 now. He's got some work. It's not impossible by any means, Larry. Not impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if some of these drivers had a late race caution, Joshua, for sure, they would have the short run speed to contend with Whitley, or even Kyle Heath for that matter, for the win here tonight.
I don't know. I mean, that would be kind of an interesting question to ask Brantley, but I don't know if he would say it. Does Whitley have the short run speed? If we do get a late race yellow, we're at 20 to go right now, so, if we do get a late race yellow and it stacks everybody back up, does Mark Whitley have the short run speed to hold off a very fast Kyle Heath, Gary Slapinski, Zach, Brandon, Jeff, all these guys that are on the lead lap? And as usual, Brantley out there is telling me to shut up.
Yeah.
We don't want to find out, Brantley says. Brantley knows me well, folks. He knows me well. I speak it, and it happens. Oh, golly. Now I'm really going to feel bad if we get a yellow. Oh, man. Okay, so for the sake of me, folks, let's hope we don't get a yellow. Oh, good thing Brantley Road has no idea where. Boy, you can hear the Southern come out of my mouth there. I live in the South. There you go, Brantley. That has no idea actually where I live, so that's a good thing.
It's somewhere in that slough, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere. Yes, I am, Steve. South, Midwest, whatever you want to call it. Why?
You're trying to be in the middle of it all, but you're still.
What'd you think that was from, Steve? Right now, just not a whole lot going on. Now, Kyle Heath, I do want to mention, Will, Kyle Heath is right up here ahead of the 24 of Jason Adams. Jason's one lap down right behind P2, but I believe they are teammates, so.
Yes, sir.
I don't think they're not really. Whoa! I don't think Kyle just popped the wall there a little bit.
I think what you're trying to say is with Jason on fresh tires, I don't think Kyle would make life too much of a burden on Jason to maybe get around, or maybe he could be using that toe to maybe knock a couple of tenths out of the lead, perhaps.
Possibly. But no, I'm not from the South, Tara, or I'm not from Missouri. Close.
There's multiple ways about going about that.
You know where I'm at. Now, I'm in Arkansas. I'll say where I'm at. I ain't afraid. Gary is coming up on Kyle Heath, though, for that P2 spot. Here comes Gary. See, and I think that's going to try. I think Jason's trying to help Kyle keep the P2 here. If you got teammates up here, and here comes Gary, who's in third. His teammate's leading.
Yeah, and I think Gary also stayed out a lap or two longer than Kyle.
Yeah, about a lap, looks like.
So ever so slightly that lap fresher tire could come into play, or just how fast Kyle could have maybe burned his stuff up on this last run here, perhaps, of coming out the pits and everything.
Ooh, and it looks like Jason is going to lose the back end of his teammate of Kyle. So now that's going to put Gary driving back up here closer to the 13. Could have a battle for P2.
Gary's going to look to the inside of Heath going into turn 3.
Lap traffic, 33. That's Gomez. They're getting bottled up here. Gomez. Oh, man, what's going on? Side by side still yet with the 13 and the 78.
Mark's trying to get even out of the track to get away from it all.
13 still right there, though, so would not count. Kyle Heath out of the mix here. Lap traffic, though.
Kyle, like you said, trying to get all the points he can get because he's only 9 back from Mark Whitley entering this race. So
yep, bringing it up again for everybody to see.
it'd be great if he could have held on to that second place, because that, you know, it's not a win, but it is second. It's kind of keeping that points gap at bay a little bit. You're not probably necessarily losing nor gaining too much, but still you're still there. You're not losing too much, but maybe, you know, losing another spot here, dropping just that one spot further down the totem pole could hurt ever so slightly.
Yeah, looking at it here, Gary coming into tonight into that 6th position in the point standings. Kyle Heath, of course, like we said, in 2nd in the point standings, 9 behind Mark Whitley, who's leading. Brandon Sheets in 3rd in the point standings, 31 behind the leader and 22 behind Kyle. Right now, Brandon is sitting in 5th in the race. Kyle is sitting 3rd. So it would be good for Kyle to finish ahead of Brandon, but he really would like to finish ahead of Gary as well, even in the race. And I know Kyle would love to finish ahead of Mark Whitley, but right now, man, unless we get a something down there, and I'm not going to say it because I know I'm going to get told to hush, I don't foresee it happening. And it looks like Zach Deuscher's coming down to the inside of Keith Hurlbut here. I believe that's who that was in the 19. Where is the 19? There he is. 17 of you tuning in and 12 likes, folks. Can we hit 15 big ones out there here tonight? 6 laps to go. Do appreciate it, folks. Thank you all again. Thank you all for tuning in. We're trying to hit 9,000 subscribers. We'd love to hit 10,000 here on MaxspeedTV, and if we do, I will be doing something. I will be giving away something in a race. We just got to hit that 10K mark. Got to hit that 10K mark. Big shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, the boss man. He does not have iRacing anymore, but the guy who set the stone for MaxspeedTV, Rudy Cummings. I know he's not out there in chat or If he is, he's not talking. Rudy gave me the opportunity to be a part of it. Well, now y'all stuck with me, folks. Rudy retired. Four laps to go and not a whole lot going on, Will. I think right now everybody is just kind of wanting to get through it.
Yeah, everybody's just trying to get home, get to the finish of this race. 3 laps to go now. So, almost there. I wouldn't say it's been a struggle, but there has been moments where they have had their hands full tonight in this 200-mile event here this evening. 201 if you want to get technical. But, just
Yep.
Charlotte can be one of those tracks to where you will be busy. You will have your hands full.
Dos to
Just
go. That would be 2 to go, folks. 2 to go. And I think we're going to probably more than likely end this under regulation here tonight. We got to get the white flag first. That's the big thing. And out of turn number 4 here through the tri-oval across the stripe, white flag is going to come out. 1 to go. And I think right now it is safe to say Mark Whitley, unless he majorly screws it up here, I think he's got the race locked in here tonight. It'll be a 110-lap lead race here for Mark Whitley, and it will also be his first race win here in the top 16. Mark Whitley grabs the win here tonight. Round number 6 of the top 16. Gary Slapinski is going to be up into that second spot. Cal Heath will round it out here in third. Congratulations to the top 3. Zach Deuscher in that 4th position, and Brandon Sheets rounding out our top 5. But our podium, of course, Mark Whitley, Gary Slapinski, and Cal Heath here, folks. Hang tight. We'll get the top 3 up here for the MaxspeedTV post-race show. Hang on a minute. We'll be right back. Well, alrighty, folks, I am back. We have caught up with our top three here tonight. We're going to go ahead and kind of flip it around here and bring up our third place finisher here tonight, Kyle Heath and the Me Marie Designs Machine. Kyle, man, it's Charlotte Motor Speedway, buddy. Dude, talk about it. Seemed like tires out here tonight, and then, of course, the start of the race out here tonight at 2 was a little rough. But talk about it, man. You started up front. You finished up front. Not where you wanted to, but, man, we got to hear from you, Kyle, man. How'd the race go for you, buddy?
Kind of crappy. Even though I got a top three, it still went kind of crappy. To be
Well,
honest with you.
is there anything, you might have, as a driver, you could have might have done differently, or is it just one of those typical races?
One of those typical races, just, kind of frustrating of how, feel like how fast I am, but it's like, I don't have any freaking grip in the front tires, no rear tires. It just don't make any sense to me sometimes how somebody can just hug the freaking bottom and then go as fast as hell as they want to.
I can feel your frustration. Well, we do go to Las Vegas next week, buddy. 167 laps. It looks like a little bit longer. No, it's 250 miles, so it's not too bad. How do you feel about Vegas?
I'm feeling good. I'm going to gamble a little bit. I might piss some people off, but I'm willing to gamble.
All righty, Kyle. Well, awesome job, P3. Still a great points night for you, Kyle. It ain't over. Keep your head up. I know you got some, thoughts, final thoughts, shout outs, thanks you want to give, bud. So, I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, man.
Yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody who watches and everybody who comes in each and every week to come race. You know, just sucks sometimes. It feels like we're racing against the NASCAR champion guy out there. So, that's all I got to say.
All right, Kyle, we'll let you get to it, buddy. We'll see you next week, man. Go celebrate third and get them at Vegas, man.
Yep.
All right, well, that is going to bring us to our P2 finisher here tonight. That is going to be Gary Slapinski. Well, Gary, man, you started up in the top 5 and 5th. You did manage to lead a lap. It was kind of a mixed night, I think, really for everybody with everything that kind of transpired out here. Long green flag runs, of course, and then the little mix up there at the beginning of the race, man. What'd you see? What happened to your teammate up there, man? And we got to hear from you, bud.
Well, we thought we could start in first gear, and we didn't practice there. We did that little practice run.
That's what he was saying.
It was fine. It was fine. I started in first gear. I slammed both, went through first, second, got into second, and no problem. And at the start, I got loose too. I got loose when I banged into second. It went up the track some. I was like, whoa. Then all of a sudden he went, whoa. And all of a sudden these cars are going sideways and everything. I was like, uh-oh. And all of a sudden there was accordion. I had a big old dent in the back. And my spotter said, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And I didn't even look at it when I went to the pits for damage report. I didn't even want to look at it because if it says like a minute, it's just going to distract me because I know from there I wasn't pitting. So, I wasn't going to fix anything because it's so hard to pass here. So
Well,
actually kind of worked out. So
when you were able to pass, do you think it was pretty much you had to do it on a newer set of tires?
no, I felt like you need to save your tires here tonight. I kind of did that, but it's so hard to pass again. Like I said,
Yeah.
you ain't got someone to help you pass, and it's not going to work out. So I kind of want to keep my track position as much as possible there. And Kyle, he drove it hard. That last one, I could tell he was driving it hard, and I was only running like 3/4. And so let me see if I can just run this 3/4, and maybe I can come back to him. And it worked. It worked out time. So so that once I got up to him, I kind of used the other guys to pick. But Kyle, he want to give up. He went 3 wide there. So I probably was the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's really hats up to him doing that. I had a lot of fun. I don't care. I'll go 3 wide, 4 wide. I'll go for it. It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, we've got Las Vegas next week, buddy. How do you feel about Las Vegas? For round number 7 here. You're climbing. Do you think it's a little bit too late, or do you think you got something for Mark and Kyle and Brandon and all these
No.
guys ahead of you?
No. I think my mission is to make third. There's no way I would catch those guys unless I go out there and throw powder on the racetrack or something on them, but it ain't never gonna happen. But the first two I will never catch. You know, I just had too much. I had computer issues and I had on track issues, and I'm just way too far back now from here. So unfortunately, I don't. There's no championship for me this year. But if I can come out of here with a third, you know, I'll be very, very happy.
Oh yeah, definitely so. Well, Gary, awesome job in the P2 spot here tonight, man. Las Vegas is, it's Vegas,
It's
So
fun. I can't wait. I
yep.
like Vegas. I like Las Vegas. It's kind of like here. I like Charlotte too. So
Yep.
two fun tracks.
I know you got some, final thought, shout outs, things you want to give, buddy. So I'm going to turn the mic over to you, man. Mic's yours.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd like to thank you, MaxspeedTV. MaxspeedTV does an awesome job. You guys do, phenomenal. I appreciate everything you guys do. I'd like to thank Driven. I'd like to thank Harpoon Designs. I'd like to thank my spotter Daryl. He did a great job tonight, giving me all the great information we needed tonight. And everybody out there watching, thank you very much. We need to hit the like button, everybody. Please be out there, hit that little like button out there. Definitely helps out the channel, and helps other people to come out and watch this. Old people out here, young people out here race week in, week out. Thank you.
All righty, Gary. We're going to celebrate your P2 here tonight. We'll see you next week, bud.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, you too, man. All right, well, that is going to bring us to our winner here tonight as soon as Discord drags him up here. Boy, Discord being awfully slow here today. But, well, Mark Whitley, your first win of the top 16. You finally did it. Had to come here at Charlotte, kind of right in the middle, but, you got it. Man, talk about the Harpoon Design Racing 77. A little rough start, but you managed to get, back in control over it. You led 110 laps, man. Talk about your overall strategy and, the calls you made out here tonight. It seemed like it worked out, bud. Mike's yours.
Yeah, it seems like lately, whenever I run Charlotte, the beginning of these races are always interesting. I ran here in another league about a week or two ago and missed the start because I was on TikTok and had to come from 35th on back to try to go up through the field. But it seems like for the most part, other than, when we ran into that phantom car earlier this year, whenever something bad happens at the start, we have a really good end of the race. So I guess can't complain too much. Race went pretty much exactly how I needed it to. It went green. After the stage, Kyle and Gary were both battling real hard. It allowed me to kind of go up, pull out a little bit, and I could take it really easy. And then once Kyle got by, it seemed like he drove it really hard to try to catch me. And then he got in my dirty air, and he fell back a little bit. And then they started battling some more, and they just wore their tires off, and I could just kind of walk away. Clean air with this car is king. So
yeah,
it's just a matter of if you can stay out front and out, not take care of your tires, you're going to be in a really good position, especially when it goes green like that. I'm not going to lie, I was sweating bullets. I know Brantley was talking about how y'all kept talking about, if something bad happens, something bad. I'm sitting there like, just shut up and just shut up and let it be white flag already.
I was about to say something about that. Yeah, he was telling me to shut my mouth. So.
Oh, I heard. I got the relay. It was pretty funny from my point of view. And then I know I've had some bad luck lately. It seems like with lap cars and just pushing it too hard when I really didn't need to. So I've tried to learn from my mistakes. And I know 25 looked like he really didn't want to go a lap down at the end of the race. So I just kind of rode behind him, and it kind of got tight. So I just kind of let off early. I had like a 6 or 7 second lead at that point, and I was just taking care of it. And then I think it was a 3 car came with fresh tires, and I went about as high as I could, just let him go because I didn't want to get caught up in another incident there at the end of the race. And I was just taking it real easy. I had that big cushion, and I wanted to use some of it just to make sure we were all safe. So all in all, pretty good. Finally got back to victory lane. Feel like it's been forever. It hasn't been that long, but it just feels like it's been a long time. First win of the playoffs, comes halfway through it, and it's a really good time. Kyle's giving me a hell of a battle for the points right now, and he's keeping me honest. I'll give him that, because he's right there on me, and he's already won 2 races in the playoffs, and you can't afford a big mistake, because we got lucky last week at Talladega. We got kind of wrecked in a kind of weird way. the car, like, it felt like it had one-wheel drive after it got it fixed. I mean, it wouldn't go forward unless I was turning to the left a little bit. It was the weirdest thing. So we managed to come home, I think, 11th there. That was a great way to save some points. And tonight, getting the stage win, getting the pole, leading the most, like, pretty much maximizing the points tonight. That's it's going a long way. It's not over by any means. Like,
No.
there's still 4 races left, I think. I mean, it's still anybody's game. So we're just going to have to keep coming out here running strong and trying to stay out of trouble.
Well, we got Las Vegas next week. I wouldn't say it's similar to Charlotte, but it is in kind of a way. What do you think about going from Charlotte to Las Vegas? Back-to-back tough tracks in a way.
Yeah, Vegas has always been one of my favorite tracks in iRacing. I really love that track. There was a time there, I think I won there was a week a couple years ago. I think I had 3 leagues that were all at Vegas, and we had the official there too. And I think I won like 10 races that week. So that was really that track's got a special place. It just seems like I really get and know how to drive it. We'll see how it is. These next gen cars are a whole different animal,
Yeah.
and they're it's interesting. So we're going to have to just see. Hopefully we can just run strong again. If we can't go out there and lead all the laps, at least run top 5. Really just need to maximize the points. That's going to be the key for the last 4 weeks of the year. Just maximize points, and hopefully that's good enough to come out with a championship. But Kyle's making me earn it. That's for sure. He's right there on my butt.
Yes, he sure is. Well, Mark, awesome win out here tonight. Like you said, and I've said it, and everybody I think knows it. It's not over by any means. You have your work cut out for you. Gary's trying to at least get up into a top 3, after the rough start he's had. Kyle is, trying to, overcome you. Brandon is even right there as well with Chris Paff. So, Jeff Gilmore's trying to get the best finish he can. Anything is plausible here, going into the next 4 races. So it's not by any means over. A lot of work still yet to be done by everybody. So, Mark, awesome job on the win out here tonight. But, I know you got to go celebrate. I know you got thoughts and shout outs you want to give as well. And you got your work cut out for you too. So, Mark, I'm going to turn the mic over to you, buddy.
Hey, a big shout out Brantley over at Harpoon Designs. Did both the paint scheme for me and Gary. Awesome work. I wanted to, felt like we were having some bad luck there with strategy. So I told him, I wanted to change it up. I wanted to change up the colors a little bit. I wanted it to look mean, try to get on a hot streak. I feel like we've done that now, getting this win, for the first win of the playoffs. So shout out to him. Check him out at harpoondesign.com if you want to get something made by him. He does awesome work. He's also got a whole lot of paint schemes on Trading Paint if you want to go check out some of his other work. I think last time I checked, it was right at 2,000 paints on there. So something for everybody. Shout out to my teammate Gary. I know he was up there running really strong the whole race. He it's always fun to have a teammate that fast. You can bounce ideas off of them and just sit there and figure out what the best thing to do for the race is. And he came up 1 spot short tonight, but it could easily have been reversed. And glad he's on the team. Can't wait to see what he does next week. And then shout out to the league. We had caution on the first lap. That was my fault. My bad. The first gear was not the right move, even though it was in practice. Thankfully, I don't think too many people got destroyed in that. I hope they didn't. That was felt like a rookie move there by me. But the rest of the race, pretty much, we had, I think, 1 other caution maybe. The whole race, or the whole race is pretty much green. We had long green flag runs. That's a hell of a statement to make, especially this track's not easy. That turn 4 wall comes up on you real quick. So
yeah,
shout out to everybody in the league. And then shout out to y'all for putting on a great broadcast. Hopefully it'd be a little bit less stressful to go back and watch later than it was in the car.
Oh, I
and
bet.
then last shout out to my family, always tuning in these broadcast races. Mom, dad, granddad, I always appreciate them tuning in, spending their Sunday nights before the beginning of the week, just watching me run around a virtual racetrack. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And I think that's it.
All righty, Mark. We'll go celebrate your victory here tonight. Of course, 4 more races left, and we got back at it next week in Las Vegas, buddy. So we'll see you then.
Sounds good.
All right, Mark Whitley, our winner here tonight, the Harpoon Design Racing Team 77. Of course, his teammate there in second. We could see him back there in the 78. And then Kyle Heath right there in the Me Marie Designs 13. Zach Deuscher in that 4th spot. Brandon Sheets rounding out our top 5, but we're going to go ahead and get down here to the unofficial results, pending any admin stuff they have to do here tonight. Mark Whitley grabbing the win, his first win of the chase here. Gary Slapinski there in 2nd, Kyle 3rd, Zach 4th, as I was stating, and Brandon Sheets 5th. Jeff Gilmore grabbing top 10 and 6th here. Chris Paff 7th, Kevin Roy in 8th, Robbie Darnell grabbing a top 10 and 9th, and Mark Emery will grab a top 10 in 10th. Austin Slayers in 11th, Brandon Hartwell 12th, Larry Blair 13th, David Cassidy in 14th, Jason Adams 15th, Gomez in 16th, Keith Hurlbut 17th, Robbie Stewart in 18th, Christopher Campbell 19th, and Clifton Ashley in 20th. And Paul Bus Cohen, he did not start here tonight. But again, our winner here tonight, Mark Whitley. Give a shout-outs where they're due. Of course, Robbie Darnell and everybody over here at SRU for what they do and put on this great league for the Cup Series. So, Robbie, like I said, he doesn't get the shout-outs, but he does deserve it. He's got to put up with all of us here on a week-to-week basis, and me pretty much every day. So, Robbie, dude, I don't know how you do it, but we appreciate you doing what you do over here. A big shout-out to all the other admins as well. A big shout-out to all the fans out there that tune in. Yeah, Mark, we seen that. Yeah, awesome job, buddy, grabbing that top 10. All the fans out there that tuned in here tonight. 14 likes here toward the end of the broadcast. I think we had upwards of about 21, 22 or somewhere around there at peak. So a big shout out to all of y'all for tuning in, and a big shout out to, of course, Will Roberts. Will, glad to have you up here, man. Charlotte, it was it was Charlotte, green flag runs, couple of cautions, and that was really about it, man. And we did have some action out there here tonight too, buddy.
Yeah, almost a typical Charlotte race where you can see these races at Charlotte just kind of get spread out, go green flag. It is a track that can be known for that, but also can be known for some havoc. We did see some chaos, havoc, mayhem out there this evening, but a couple of incidents that could have been questionable caution, but they stayed green. Next week at Vegas, it's going to be very similar to, I think, what we saw here tonight, except it's not going to have that quad oval. It's just going to be that regular D shape like Kansas is, or Kentucky, Nashville, so to speak. So, but still, nevertheless, it is a mile and a half. It is banked somewhat similar to Charlotte. So, hope to see some good racing. Las Vegas normally in stores good racing, so can't wait to see it, Joshua.
Oh yeah, and of course, same time, same place, folks, right here on MaxspeedTV, 7:45 Eastern, 6:45 Central. So get out here early, start chatting it up in chat, getting ready for the race. I'll try to have the link out there ahead of time. Been dealing with some stuff the past week, so wasn't really in the mood of getting the races up, but I'll try to have it ready to go before next Sunday. That way we can get some people out there to tune in here to watch Las Vegas, and never know, might even get some more racers for next season with these guys. They will be recruiting during the off season. We'll get more on that later. So, but I do appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight. Make sure you hit that like button here tonight, as I have just kind of played that like button here for everybody. But man, I can't wait for Vegas. We're going to be able to see kind of what happens there, and it's going to be interesting. But until next week, folks, stay safe. Thank you all again, and have a good night.